Hi there folks, my name is Natalie and I am a member of Gauntlet Cohort 2 and I am really excited to talk to you about Personyx. But first I wanted to say a few words about my idea and how Personyx works within them. So when I have been a member of large or small software teams, usually what we do is this. And what this is what I like to call a recipe for shiny object syndrome. So what might happen is that as a manager or with my manager, we might come up with a great new idea that will be a Hail Mary or it'll solve all of our customers' problems. And then we'll go into a planning phase where we'll plan out how we're going to implement it and create a big in-depth PRD. Then we go into the act/implementation phase where I'll create an MVP or we will literally create the product. And this can take months, sometimes years, lots of resources and time and money. And then we'll go into the observe and validate phase. So this might be a real release out to customers that might fail, or a release that might succeed, but with some hiccups that would have been much better resolved without actually releasing before. And then there's a decision phase where you can either reject the previous idea, and in which case you go back to the starting board and start this loop again, or you finalize it and move forward and hope that you can come up with many other ideas without spending so much. So this is really costly and it usually results in companies losing lots of money. And in about 80%, according to one study, of all features that are ever built, never being used by customers. So to solve that for myself and for other teams, I created Personyx. So Personyx is a tool where you can ingest customer interviews and you can also chat with AI models that are created off of customer interviews into different personas for the kind of customer you have. And you can chat with them at any stage of your ideation. So if I have an idea, I can go to Personyx and fine-tune my PRD. Then while I'm planning or between execution, I can go back to Personyx and change a feature or update something I don't like. And then finally, I can go straight to execution and not end up in that big expensive loop of new customer interviews and more research and more implementation. But that's enough about my idea behind Personyx and why I'm so excited to use it. Let's go to the demo. So I'm going to go ahead and get my customer transcripts and plunk them here. So let's say that I have done lots of market research and interviewed lots of customers, and I have a transcript of their opinions of our latest product. So here are some sample interviews that I've come up with. One of them is a marketer and the other one is a founder. So let's go for marketer first. I can click import transcript, and then this transcript, you can see that there's lots of steps to it, but in essence what it does is it builds your personas for you. So I've already played around with this and my personas already exist, but if they didn't before, then what this would do is create customer personas based on the interview. And you can upload many of these one after the other to get some feedback over, or get a more fine-tuned, essentially, persona base. Or it can alter your existing personas based on the interview. So then what it does is it creates these evidence scores, which are our answer to how much a customer would actually like something. So evidence scores are a comparison of the model analysis of a particular PRD and the actual contents of the PRD. And the higher an evidence score is, the more evidence there is in the persona model that the customer will actually like your idea. So we can see that the transcript was processed properly. And if I wanted to see a log of all of the things that I've done in a day and the transcript processing to see whether it was successful, I would go to the activity log. And you can see that I've been playing around with this a lot to get all of the functionality nice and demoed. But this log tells you everything that you have done, everything that's changing with your personas, whether your evidence scores get updated in case you want to see what has happened over the course of your Personyx use. And this can also be exported into a log. And then if I open it up, then you can see that every single one of the transactions that I have made or interactions that I've made with the persona has been logged here. So this is really nice for tracking the history of a team of interacting with Personyx and your personas to see if what you're doing is really accurate or not. So I'm going to go back. You can see that my evidence score is preloaded, and that's because I've uploaded a previous PRD before. But essentially what has happened in real time is that I updated my personas by uploading a interview transcript, and my evidence score got recalculated against the last PRD in memory. So let's update this with a different PRD and see if we get a different score or potentially the same score. I might pick the same PRD, so we'll see how this goes. PRD update 2. So now you can see I have selected a PRD from my long list of test PRDs, both good and bad, and I'm going to see if my score stays the same or changes based on what my personas think of this PRD. Oh, looks like our score has dropped a little bit. So my personas ingested and what I like to think of as read my PRD, and they've given me some feedback. And it looks like between my 3 personas that I have, the highest score that I got out of it was an 80. So this evidence score is kind of a probability metric, a very general probability metric on how well your PRD actually captures a problem or actually appeals to a particular customer. And we do return the highest of the 3 because we feel like that's the persona that you can most cater to. But in the future, after the 4-day deadline is over, I could envision expanding this further and getting persona-specific reviews. And actually, there is a persona-specific feedback that I can get for the PRD, so if I reload this, then you can see that all 3 of my personas have given feedback on my latest PRD. So my agency marketer says that I need to streamline the evidence score updates to enhance reporting efficiency and optimize client campaign performance. That test PRD that I had was actually about this application itself. So as you can see, there are responses in real time, but they do get updated and they do get changed as you refresh. So what I am going to do is I'm going to show you if I want to get some more granular opinions from my personas, I can go to the chat, and I can start a chat with any of the 3 personas that I have. So let's click on the agency marketer, and I can ask, hey, I am trying to create a feature which allows developers to speak with AI model versions of their customers and get evidence scores for how well their PRDs are. What do you think of this idea? So now, my agency marketer model is thinking, and hopefully he will give us a good response. Here we go. And it's taking a little bit because he does give very in-depth response, but here's what he thinks. Hey there, I think your idea of creating a feature that allows developers to interact with AI model versions of their customers is quite innovative. So it looks like the agency marketer really likes the idea, but he's also giving a different perspective and ensuring that there's a robust system in place to capture and analyze the data from these interactions. So lucky for this AI model, I've thought of that with the interview uploads, but also just to speak a little bit about the back end, everything is encrypted in this system, and it's all local based. So you don't really have to worry about any security issues with your setup. The only real sort of consideration is that we do use OpenAI keys, and we do call OpenAI to sort of prime some of these models, so that's the only thing that goes over the internet, but even those are secure transactions and encryption, so I'm very proud of that. But as you can see, I have now been able to talk to a customer about an idea that I'm actively developing based on interviews that I've had with that customer. So let's go ahead and talk a little bit about the different little fine-tuning things that you can do here. So if I wanted to use Personyx Cloud, this would be my solution to allowing large enterprises and other teams to not have to worry about getting OpenAI keys or using their AI models at all. What this would be is just a simple one-click system where you ask Personyx to provide those keys and models for you, and it's done. But if a team has their own OpenAI key relationship that they want to add here, then they can populate it here. And so this is kind of a sneak peek for future developments of this application. I did have planned VS Code, Slack, and Apple Notes integrations, and those will happen in the future. But for now, I just wanted to get a really robust agent system and a really robust representation of all of the customers. And then a last little goodie, let's say that I'm working on something else and I would like to talk to my personas right away, or tweak my personas. I can open up this tray and select a PRD file and restart this entire loading system from here. Or if I want to go chat with my personas, I can click here and the chat pops up again from any other tab that I'm at. Say that I don't like how my personas are responding, or I think that their responses are inaccurate. I can go to the persona manager, and this actually translates for us what the lane graph model representation of our customers are actually like. So we get a description, a primary goal, a main pain point, and lots of keywords that they like. So these are all taken from the customer interviews, and these are actually created for you and updated for you based on the customer interviews that you upload. But let's say that I think this is inaccurate and I want to update it. I can do that myself. So I can say, our particular solo founders love our mobile application. Then I can click save configuration. Let's wait a second. And those changes get propagated all throughout the app. So there's a lot of granularity in how much you can interact with your personas, how much you can speak to them, and the kind of feedback that they can give you and in what format. For people who are more old school and would prefer to see the YAML firsthand for how we're representing our personas, here it is. But that is, in essence, Personyx. It is my solution to talking to customers when I don't have them right away or inaccessible. And I believe that this could help a lot of teams. It will surely help me, but please do let me know what you think, if you'd make any changes to the application. Oh, maybe one last little goodie before we go. I just have a dark mode. And I'm kind of known for liking that, so I added a dark mode. But thank you. This was very fun, and that's it.